Let's look at your life. Not all of it, just a part. Maybe the part that doesn't feel so good. Maybe the part that keeps holding you back. Maybe the part where you say, I don't know why, but things aren't working out. Because sometimes, it's not your skills or your luck, it's the story you keep telling yourself, the story in your head that says, I'm not good enough, or it's too late, or people like me don't win, and if you keep repeating that story, your life will follow it like a shadow. Now let's ask, what has your old story been? Was it sad? Was it full of struggle? Did it feel like a never-ending drama? Or maybe a quiet pain that no one else saw? Maybe you told yourself, I've tried so hard, but life just keeps hitting me. Maybe you said, I'm surviving, but I'm not really living. Whatever it was, I want you to close your eyes for a second. Yes, right now if you can, close them gently and think. What was your old story and how did it make you feel? Was it a story full of fear or regret? Was it a story where you felt powerless? Did it feel like everything was just happening to you and you had no control? Now I want you to imagine this. Imagine that starting today you get to write a new story. You get to be the author, the director, the one holding the pen. This time the story is not going to be about being stuck or being hurt or being small. This time the story is going to be about strength, about growth, about stepping into the life you truly want. So what will this new story be about? What emotions will live inside it? Will it be a story of courage? Will it be filled with love, joy, or deep gratitude? Will it be a story where you wake up each day with energy, with purpose, where you take action even when it's hard, where you believe in your power, where you do what you said you'd do, not because it's easy, but because it's right? Ask yourself now, if I could fill my new story with just 3 emotions, what would they be? Would it be confidence? Would it be passion? Maybe kindness? Maybe faith? Maybe hunger to grow? Think about it, because if you start waking up every single day and you say, today I choose courage, today I choose love, today I choose strength, your whole life begins to shift. You don't need to know everything, you just need to start feeling and acting in a new way, because even great leaders didn't always know how they would get there. Martin Luther King didn't know every step of the path, but he had a dream, he had a reason, and that reason gave him strength. When he stood up and said, I have a dream, he didn't say I have a full plan, he had faith, and that moved the hearts of millions. That's the power of a story, the power of a strong reason, and that's what you need now, a reason, a story, a feeling that lifts you and moves you forward, even if you don't have the how yet, because once your why becomes strong, the how starts to appear. And this is not just about changing how you feel, it's about changing how you move, how you speak, how you decide, it's about building a stronger version of you, and we all can, because no one was born unworthy, we are just shaped by the stories we repeat, so it's time to write something better. Let me ask you again, what role are you going to play in this new story? Are you still going to be the one waiting for permission, or are you going to be the one creating the path, no longer the pawn on the board, but the one making the moves? You don't have to have all the answers, just decide that you are no longer the victim in your life, because change starts when you choose it, even if it's small, even if it's slow, it starts with a new decision, a new sentence, a new page. Look at history. When President Kennedy said, we will put a man on the moon, nobody knew how, even NASA said it was impossible, but he didn't care, he had a vision, a dream, and he said this is what we will do, and this is why we will do it, and eventually, they found a way. The same thing goes for you. If you really decide what you want and you know deep inside why you want it, you will start finding how to make it happen, maybe not all at once, but step by step, and that is what life is, one step at a time, one strong decision after another. But let's also ask this, what has been stopping you? What's been standing in your way? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it waiting for the perfect time? Is it holding on to your past? Or thinking you're not ready yet? Because let me tell you, waiting won't help you win, moving will. We're going to go deeper into this, we're going to guide you through this journey step by step, and I want you to not just hear the words, I want you to feel them, because belief alone is not enough, you need to experience something that wakes you up. You can believe in flying, but until you jump on a plane and fly, it's just a belief. Real change comes from experience, from movement, from doing something new and feeling what it gives you. You can't win with the wrong story in your head. You can't grow if your mind says you're stuck. You can't shine if you keep telling yourself that you're broken. The words you whisper to yourself each day become the walls or the wings of your life. So what are you whispering? Some people keep saying, I'll never be rich. And life listens. Some say, I can't love again. And their heart locks up. Some say, I'm not smart enough. And they stop learning. Words are not just sounds. They are seeds. And every seed you plant will grow into your future. So let's ask it again. What story are you planting? What future are you building in your mind? You might think it's just talk. But talk becomes thought. And thought becomes action. And action becomes your habits. And habits become your results. So here's the truth. If you change your story, you can change your life. But first, you must catch the old story. Don't ignore it. Face it. What is the thing you always say when life gets hard? Do you say, "This always happens to me"? Do you say, "I'm not lucky"? Do you say, "Maybe I'm not meant for more"? Catch that story. Hold it in your hand. And say, "You are not the truth. You are just a story I once believed." Because here's something powerful. Just because something was true doesn't mean it must stay true. Maybe you were hurt. But you don't have to be broken. Maybe you were poor. But you don't have to stay small. Maybe you were afraid. But you don't have to live in fear forever. That's the beautiful thing about life. You can start again. You can write a new page. Even in the middle of your book, you can turn the story around. You can say, "This is where it all changed." You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. Willing to let go of the old weight. Willing to see yourself in a new way. Willing to rise even if you're scared. Because courage is not about being fearless. It's about moving even when your legs are shaking. You see, most people don't fail because they don't have talent. They fail because they don't believe they deserve more. They fail because they keep reliving the same story that hurt them. They fail because they never question their thoughts. They think if it feels real, it must be real. But emotions lie. Fear lies. Pain lies. Only truth frees you. And the truth is this. You were made for more. More joy. More peace. More purpose. More power. You are not here just to survive. You are here to create. To shine. To love. To lift. To build something that matters. But you can't do that with an old story that tells you you're weak. You must tell a new story. Even if it's not fully real yet. Tell it until it becomes real. Say, "I am strong. I am healing. I am focused. I am chosen." Say it every day. Write it on your mirror. Speak it in your room. Even if no one listens. Speak it anyway. Because the most important person who needs to hear it is you. Let me tell you something that may change your life. The most powerful story you can ever tell is the one you tell to yourself when no one else is around. That's the one that shapes everything. Not the story you post online. Not the story you tell friends. But the one you speak in the dark, when no one is watching. Make that story strong. Make it full of faith. Make it full of light. Let me give you a little exercise. Take a piece of paper. On one side, write down your old story. Write down the thoughts that keep holding you back. I'm not enough. I always fail. I'll never be free. Get them all out. Face them. Don't hide. Then flip the paper. And on the other side, write your new story. I am learning. I am growing. I am more than my past. I am the author of my life. Post that paper somewhere you can see it. Because reminders shape results. Now let's talk about emotion. Emotion is the fuel of your story. A story with no emotion is just words. But when you feel it, when you say it with your whole heart, it becomes power. So when you speak your new story, don't just whisper it. Shout it in your soul. Say it with energy. With movement. With fire. Say it like your life depends on it, because it does. You don't have to fake anything. You just need to choose what to focus on. You can say, "I lost so much." Or you can say, "I learned so much." You can say, "I'm tired of the pain." Or you can say, "The pain made me stronger." You can say, it's too hard. Or you can say, I've done hard things before. I can do this too. Every word is a step. Every story is a path. And every path leads to a future. So where is your story taking you? Your story is your steering wheel. It turns your life in the direction you speak. If you keep saying, I'm unlucky, life turns that way. If you say, I always bounce back, life will find ways to prove you right. So be careful with the wheel. Even if your past was painful, your future doesn't have to be. Even if you were lost, you can still find a way. You are not the same person you were last year. You are wiser. You are tougher. You are more ready than ever. But you must believe it. No one can give you belief. You must build it brick by brick. Each time you get up, belief grows. Each time you forgive, belief grows. Each time you speak life over yourself, belief grows. Look back for a moment. See all the times you didn't quit. See all the storms you survived. See the tears that taught you something. That wasn't weakness. That was training. That was strength in disguise. Some people look at their story and only see the bad parts. They highlight the pain. They underline the fear. They reread the heartbreak. But what if you changed the focus? What if you started highlighting the courage? What if you underlined the lessons? What if you circled the moments where you didn't give up? Because they're there. Even if small, they matter. Even if quiet, they count. And those little moments of power can grow into a whole new chapter. You just have to water them. You see, your brain is like a garden. It grows what you plant. If you plant doubt, it grows. If you plant hope, it grows. So choose your seeds wisely. Water them with faith. Shine light on them with action. And when the weeds of old thoughts try to return, pull them. Say, that's not who I am anymore. Say, that thought is not welcome here. Say, this mind is a place of power now. Because it is. Because you said so. That's the real magic. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need approval to begin again. The only yes you need is your own. And once you give yourself that yes, nothing can stop you. Let's talk about voices. You've heard a lot of voices in your life. Some told you to sit down. Some told you to be quiet. Some laughed at your dreams. Some didn't believe in your vision. But guess what? None of those voices have power unless you give it to them. You can choose now to listen to a new voice. Your voice. The one that says, I matter. The one that says, I am made for more. The one that says, I don't need to shrink for anyone. You don't have to yell. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to own your space. You just have to walk like you believe in your future. Because when you do, people will feel it. People will ask, what changed? And you'll smile and say, I changed the story. That's it. No magic trick. Just a decision. A choice to lead your mind instead of being led by fear. You don't have to explain it to everyone. Not everyone will understand. That's okay. This story isn't for them. It's for you. It's your freedom. It's your fire. And when it gets hard, and it will go back to your new story. Read it again. Say it again. Feel it again. Because repetition rewires the brain. Say it until your soul believes it. Say it until it becomes real in your body. You are not weak for needing reminders. You are human. And even the strongest humans need to be reminded that they are powerful. So write it on your wall. Speak it every morning. Let it become your rhythm. Let it become your heartbeat. The world will try to pull you into fear, into doubt, into distraction. But your story will hold you steady. Your story will guide your steps. Your story will lift your head. Because your story is your power. And you are the author. Not your past. Not your pain. Not the people who left. Not the fear that tried to break you. You are the author now. Let's take a deep breath. Feel that power inside. It's there. Even if quiet. Even if small. That's your fire. That's your truth. That's your new beginning. Let me remind you of something powerful. Every great person you admire once stood where you are. They didn't have it all figured out. They were not born with the answers. They had fears. They had failures. But they wrote a different story. Look at Elon Musk. He was bullied as a child. He had big ideas that people laughed at. They said he was crazy to want electric cars everywhere. They said space rockets were only for governments. But he didn't let their story stop his. He believed in his vision. He believed in doing what no one else dared to do. And when he failed, he didn't stop. He kept writing the next chapter. He used failure as fuel. He said, "I will build it anyway." There were times he had to sleep in the factory. Times he nearly ran out of money. Times people told him to quit. But he didn't write the end. He kept going. Because he knew the story wasn't over. You can do the same. Your dream may be different. Your journey may look smaller. But your story matters just as much. If you don't quit, it grows. If you believe, it builds. You don't need to be Elon Musk. You just need to be the boldest version of yourself. You don't need rockets. You just need reasons. Reasons to keep going. Reasons to say, "I was made for more." Musk didn't let fear choose the next page. He used fear as a tool. He said, "If something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor." That's the mindset that moves mountains. That's the story that changes lives. So what is important to you? What keeps you awake at night? What dream pulls on your heart and says, "Write me"? Don't ignore it. That's your fuel. That's your fire. That's your future calling. It doesn't matter if others believe. It doesn't matter if no one claps. It doesn't matter if you have to start alone. Elon did. Every great one does. They walk alone before the world follows. Your story will be tested. Your strength will be stretched. You'll have moments where you doubt yourself. That's normal. But don't let the doubt become your narrator. Let purpose speak louder. You have to say, "I'm not giving up." You have to whisper it even when your voice shakes. You have to get up one more time than you fall. You have to tell your fear, "You don't get to win today." Because this is your story. And it's not finished. You might not own a billion-dollar company. But you own your mind. You own your decisions. You own your next step. That's where true power lives. Your wealth isn't just in money. It's in mindset. It's in purpose. It's in your ability to dream something that doesn't exist and then build it. That's what Elon Musk did. And that's what you can do in your own way. Let the world say it's impossible. Let them laugh. Let them walk away. But let your story stay strong. Let it say, "I did it anyway." Let it say, "I kept going when others stopped." Because your story has power. Because your life has meaning. And because you are the author now. There comes a point where you have to protect your story. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not everyone should be allowed to speak into your life. Some people only bring doubt. Some bring distraction. And some try to erase your pages. But you were not born to be erased. You were born to write. Bold. Brave. Clear. You were born to live a story that inspires others. But you can't do that if you keep letting weak voices lead your strong future. So ask yourself, who am I listening to? Do they build me up or tear me down? Do they speak faith or fear? Your story becomes the story of the voices you allow in. Elon Musk didn't surround himself with doubters. He hired the best. He studied the smartest. But he didn't let their limits become his limits. He listened. Then he decided. That's how leaders rise. You have to become the leader of your life. Not a follower of fear. Not a servant of other people's opinions. Not a puppet controlled by noise. You are in charge now. You choose the next page. Every great story has resistance. It has rejection. It has pain. But the story becomes powerful when the hero keeps going anyway. You are that hero. You can live like it. Think like it. Move like it. Wake up each day and say, this is still my story. Say it even when you're tired. Say it even when it hurts. Because what you say becomes what you see. Your words are seeds. Your thoughts are the water. And your actions are the sunlight. If you want a strong life, plant strong words. Say, I am not broken. Say, I am still becoming. Say, my past was a chapter, not the ending. Say, I will rise again. These are the words that rewrite your future. You see, life will test you to see if you truly mean it. When your dream is slow, will you still believe? When you're misunderstood, will you still stand tall? When no one claps, will you still write? That's when true authors are born. Elon Musk once said, persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. That's the difference between winners and quitters. One rewrites the ending. The other surrenders the pen. So today, take your pen back. Write with faith. Write with vision. Write with fight. Because your life is too important to hand over to fear. Don't let your environment become your excuse. Don't let your pain become your identity. Don't let your past become your future. Your story is too powerful to live as a copy. Make it original. Make it unforgettable. They may not believe in you yet. That's okay. They don't need to. Because once the results show, the story speaks louder than their doubt. Let your story speak. Let your success shout. Let your peace prove them wrong. Let your life say, this was never luck. This was purpose. You are not a mistake. You are not a mess. You are not stuck. You are becoming. You are rising. You are rewriting your world. One day, your name will be a memory. One day, your story will be told by others. The question is, what will they say? Will they say you played small? Or will they say you lived loud with purpose? Legacy is not about fame. It's about impact. It's about how you made people feel. It's about the seeds you planted in others. It's about the doors you opened for those behind you. Elon Musk didn't just build companies. He built possibility. He took risks when others stayed safe. He dreamed of Mars when most people couldn't fix Earth. That's what legacy looks like, vision that lasts beyond your lifetime. You have that same fire in you. Don't say you don't. You may not have seen it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not there. It means you need to dig deeper. Dig past the pain. Dig past the fear. Dig past the moments they doubted you. Because under all that noise, there is gold. Your purpose is not waiting for perfect timing. It's waiting for your decision. You don't need to be ready. You just need to be real. Real about what matters to you. Ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't scared? What would I chase if I wasn't broke? What would I fight for if I knew I couldn't fail? Because those answers are the start of your legacy. Every time you show up with courage, you change your future. Every time you speak truth, you shift generations. Every time you choose growth, you build something that lasts. Your legacy begins in private, in quiet discipline, in silent nights where you keep writing, keep building, keep believing, even when no one sees. That's how empires are built. That's how legends are made. Not just in front of the camera, but in the dark. When no one is watching but you, there will be people who try to stop you. Some will be loud. Some will be silent. Some will laugh. Some will pretend to support you but secretly hope you fail. But let them watch. Let them doubt. Let them sit while you rise. Because the more you build, the louder your life will speak. Let your results do the talking. Let your peace do the proving. Let your joy be your response. Because true greatness doesn't beg for attention. It attracts it by default. The goal is not just to make money. It's to make meaning. It's to turn your pain into a platform, your struggle into strength, and your story into a spark for others. You don't have to be Elon Musk. You don't have to be anyone else. You just have to be fully you. The version of you that's honest, hungry, unstoppable. Because your legacy is not built someday. It is built today. In what you choose, what you refuse, and what you never give up on. The most powerful thing you will ever master is not business, not marketing, not money. It's your own mind. Your thoughts are the foundation of your life. Your mindset is the engine behind every success, every failure, every excuse, every breakthrough. If you don't control your mind, the world will do it for you. It will feed you doubt. It will feed you fear. It will feed you average dressed as safe. But when you train your mind, you become dangerous. You start thinking different. You start seeing opportunity where others see risk. You start acting while others freeze. Elon Musk doesn't ask, what if it fails? He asks, what if we succeed? He reprogrammed his mind to see possibilities. And that's why he does the impossible. Over and over again. You must rewire your brain. Not just once, but daily. With the right thoughts. With the right focus. With the right routines. Wake up early. Not for hustle culture, but for clarity. Because the quiet morning hours, that's where warriors are shaped. Feed your mind. Not just with news. Not just with scrolling. But with power. With ideas. With words that build you. Move your body. Because discipline in your body strengthens discipline in your mind. And when your body is strong, your spirit follows. Speak life to yourself. Not just when you win, but especially when you fail. Because that's when you need your voice the most. The voice that says, we're not done. Train your mind to be uncomfortable. Comfort is the silent killer of growth. The more you avoid struggle, the more you lose your edge. But if you lean in, you become unstoppable. Mental toughness is not being emotionless. It's feeling everything and still moving. It's crying, then standing. It's failing, then learning. It's falling, then rising louder. Every morning, remind yourself, I was not made to be average. Every night, ask, did I move closer to the life I imagined? Because your answers build your identity. This is where legends are made. Not in comfort. Not in noise. But in focus. In self-control. In choosing your higher self every single day. If Elon Musk gave in to fear, we'd never be talking about Mars. If he gave up when he was broke, there'd be no Tesla, no SpaceX, no revolution. He trained his mind to see beyond. And so must you. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to stay obsessed. Obsessed with growing. Obsessed with rising. Obsessed with becoming everything you were born to be. Setbacks will come. That's not a warning. It's a promise. You will fail. You will fall. But here's the real test. Will you rise? Every successful person you admire has been through hell. But they didn't stop there. They walked through it. They grew through it. Elon Musk was laughed at, mocked, nearly bankrupt. But he kept going. Because he believed in the vision. Even when the world didn't. Your pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your power. If you allow it. Pain will teach you. It will shape you. It will push you beyond limits you never knew existed. Every time life knocks you down, you're given a choice. Stay broke or get better. But you can't do both. Don't be afraid of failing. Be afraid of standing still. Because stillness without direction leads to regret. And regret is a pain far greater than failure. You're not lost. You're learning. You're not stuck. You're shifting. You're not broken. You're becoming. Sometimes the delay is your training. Sometimes the pain is your preparation. Sometimes the darkness is where you discover your fire. Trust your path. Even when you can't see the next step. Even when your heart is heavy. Even when your mind is screaming to quit. Because the path is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to change you. To strengthen you. To force you to find a deeper version of yourself. Success is not for the smartest. Not for the luckiest. It's for the most relentless. Those who keep showing up. Even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. You want to win? Then learn to walk with pain. Not run from it. But walk beside it. Use it. Let it sharpen your edge. Don't cry because it's hard. Smile because you're growing. Don't stop because it hurts. Push because it matters. You are being built right now. Not with ease. But with endurance. Not with comfort. But with courage. And when you rise. Not if. But when. You'll look back at every setback and say, I needed that fire to forge the strength. You are not a mistake. You are not too late. And you are not done. Your story is still being written. Every chapter matters. Even the painful ones. Even the quiet ones. Even the ones nobody claps for. But hear this. You hold the pen. You have the power to turn the page. You have the right to rise. Don't let your past trap you. Don't let fear freeze you. Don't let people limit you. If you keep going, you will grow. If you keep believing, you will build. If you keep showing up, you will shine. Greatness isn't given. It's created. It's forged in hard moments. And it's born when you choose to keep moving. Even when nothing makes sense. Let your struggles fuel you. Let your doubts drive you. Let your pain push you higher. Just like Elon Musk didn't stop. When rockets exploded. When critics laughed. When banks turned their backs. He kept building. And now the world watches. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be committed. You don't need everyone to believe. You need to believe in yourself. So walk with purpose. Speak with power. Act with courage. And love the journey. Because the world doesn't change when you wish. It changes when you work. It changes when you rise. It changes when you refuse to stay small. This is your moment. This is your fight. This is your time. Change your thoughts. Change your habits. Change your story. And you'll change your life.
Please like and subscribe for more videos.